Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Koala English Podcast. I'm Anthony. How are you today? We're really happy you're here with us.
Hi, everyone. I'm Samantha. I'm doing well, thank you. Today's topic is something many English learners quietly worry about: forgetting words while speaking English.
Have you ever been in the middle of a conversation and suddenly your mind goes blank? You know the word, but it just disappears.
Yes, and when that happens, many people panic, freeze, or feel embarrassed, even if their English level is quite good.
The truth is, this experience is completely normal, especially when you're speaking a second language under pressure.
In this episode, we'll explain why forgetting words happens, how your brain works when you speak English, and how to stay calm when communication breaks down.
We'll also share practical strategies to help you keep talking, even when you can't remember the exact word.
And of course, we'll teach useful vocabulary, natural phrases, and simple expressions you can use in real conversations when your mind goes blank.
You'll hear short dialogues, realistic examples, and helpful tips that you can apply immediately in daily life.
Whether you're a student, a professional, or someone who uses English at work or while traveling, this episode is for you.
If you enjoy this episode, click the like button. It really supports our channel.
And if you're new here, welcome. Subscribe so you don't miss future episodes about real-life English, confidence, and communication skills.
All right, take a deep breath, don't panic, and let's learn how to keep speaking even when the words don't come easily. Let's get started. Now, let's learn some useful vocabulary related to forgetting words and speaking English. We'll explain each word more deeply, repeat it, and give clear examples you can use in real conversations.
Mind goes blank.
Mind goes blank.
When your mind goes blank, you suddenly cannot remember a particular thing, such as a word or idea, even though you know it. This often happens because of stress, pressure, or nervousness.
Example: my mind went blank during the presentation.
Or example, her mind goes blank when she speaks in front of others. Panic.
Panic.
Panic is sudden and strong fear that makes thinking clearly very difficult. When you panic, your body reacts quickly, but your brain struggles to find words.
Example: when I panic, I forget simple English words.
Or example, panic made him lose confidence while speaking.
Freeze. Freeze.
To freeze means to stop moving or speaking suddenly because of fear, stress, or pressure. In conversation, this often means you stop talking even though you want to continue.
Example: I froze in the middle of my sentence.
Or example, she froze when everyone looked at her.
Hesitate. Hesitate.
To hesitate means to pause or wait before saying or doing something because you are unsure, nervous, or still thinking.
Example: I hesitated because I wasn't sure of the word.
Or example, he hesitated before answering the question.
Overload. Overload.
Overload means too much for the brain or a system to handle. When the brain is overloaded, it becomes slower and less effective.
Example: too much thinking causes brain overload.
Or example, stress at work can lead to mental overload. Processing overload.
Processing overload.
Processing overload happens when your brain is trying to do too many things at the same time, such as thinking about grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, and meaning.
Example: speaking English quickly can cause processing overload.
Or example, processing overload makes it hard to find the right word.
Conscious. Conscious.
Being conscious means being aware of what you are thinking or doing. When speaking English, conscious thinking often means carefully thinking about every word.
Example: I'm very conscious of my mistakes when I speak.
Or example, too much conscious thinking slows communication.
Automatic. Automatic.
Automatic means happening naturally without thinking or effort. We usually speak our first language automatically.
Example: speaking my native language is automatic.
Or example, with practice, English becomes more automatic. Vicious cycle.
Vicious cycle.
A vicious cycle is a bad situation where one problem causes another problem, and together they make the situation worse and harder to stop.
Example: panic and silence create a vicious cycle.
Or example, fear leads to hesitation, and hesitation leads to more fear. Bilingual.
Bilingual.
A bilingual person speaks 2 or more languages. Bilingual speakers often switch between languages, which can sometimes make word recall slower.
Example: many bilingual speakers forget words sometimes.
Or example, being bilingual means the brain works harder.
Now, let's practice some useful phrases you can use when you forget words while speaking English. These phrases help you stay calm, keep talking, and sound more confident.
My mind's gone blank. I can't remember the word.
My mind's gone blank. I can't remember the word.
This phrase is used when you suddenly forget a word or idea, even though you know it. It is honest, natural, and very common in real conversations.
Example: sorry, my mind's gone blank. I can't remember the word.
Or, example, my mind went blank during the discussion, but I continued speaking.
When I panic, I freeze and can't speak.
This phrase explains what happens when fear takes control. Panic causes your body and brain to stop working smoothly, so you freeze and lose your words.
Example: when I panic, I freeze and can't speak clearly.
Or, example, he panicked during the presentation and froze.
I hesitate because my brain is in overload.
This phrase means you pause because your brain is trying to think about too many things at the same time, such as grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation.
Example: I hesitate because my brain is in overload.
Or, example, she hesitated when her brain felt overloaded.
As a bilingual, I think too much and my brain gets overloaded.
This phrase explains that bilingual speakers often think in more than one language, which can slow down word recall and cause mental overload.
Example: as a bilingual, I sometimes think too much before speaking.
Or, example, his brain gets overloaded when switching languages.
Thinking too consciously can create a vicious cycle.
This phrase means that overthinking leads to fear, fear leads to silence, and silence leads to more fear. The problem keeps getting worse.
Example: thinking too consciously can create a vicious cycle.
Or, example, fear and hesitation form a vicious cycle in conversation.
Now, let's listen to a dialogue where two English learners talk about forgetting words while speaking English. This is a very common experience, even for learners who know a lot of vocabulary. Stress, pressure, and overthinking can make words suddenly disappear.
Yes! Understanding how the brain works during speaking can help learners feel less anxious and more confident. Forgetting words does not mean your English is bad. It means your brain is working hard.
In this scenario, Emma and Daniel are having a casual conversation. Emma suddenly forgets a word, feels nervous, and almost panics.
Together, they talk about why this happens and how to recover when communication breaks down.
I hate when this happens. My mind's gone blank. I can't remember the word.
That's okay. Take a breath. This happens to everyone, especially when speaking a second language.
I feel stupid when it happens. I panic and then I freeze and can't speak at all.
That's a normal reaction. Panic makes thinking difficult, so your brain just shuts down for a moment.
Sometimes I hesitate because my brain is in overload. I'm thinking about grammar, pronunciation, and vocabulary at the same time.
Exactly. That's called processing overload. Your brain is trying to do too much at once.
I notice I'm very conscious of my mistakes when I speak English. I think too much about every word.
Yes, and speaking English isn't automatic yet like your native language. That's why it feels harder.
I guess thinking too consciously creates a vicious cycle. I worry, then I forget words, then I worry even more.
That's right, but the good news is this cycle can be broken with practice and patience.
That makes me feel better. Maybe forgetting words doesn't mean I'm bad at English.
Exactly. It just means your brain is learning.
Now let's listen to another dialogue. This time we'll talk about why some people can learn and speak many languages and why bilingual speakers still forget words sometimes.
Yes! Being bilingual means the brain manages more than one language. This can be powerful, but it can also create challenges during speaking.
In this scenario, Lena and Marco are discussing language learning. Lena speaks several languages, while Marco is learning his second one.
They explore how bilingual brains work and why forgetting words is completely normal.
You speak 3 languages, Lena. Do you ever forget words when you speak?
All the time. Sometimes my mind goes blank, even in languages I know well.
Really? I thought bilingual people speak automatically without problems.
Not exactly. As a bilingual, I think too much, and my brain gets overloaded.
So that's why you pause sometimes?
Yes, I hesitate because my brain is switching between languages, and that can cause processing overload.
What happens when you feel nervous?
When I panic, I freeze and can't speak properly, just like anyone else.
That makes sense. I guess managing two languages means more mental effort.
Exactly. Speaking my first language is automatic, but other languages need more conscious thinking.
Does that ever turn into a vicious cycle?
Yes, if I worry about mistakes, I forget words, then I worry more, but I've learned to stay calm.
So being bilingual is powerful, but the brain works harder.
That's right. Forgetting words doesn't mean failure. It means the brain is doing complex work.
We've listened to Emma, Daniel, Lena, and Marco. Now let's review the most important words and phrases about forgetting words while speaking English.
Yes, we learned that forgetting words is very common and often connected to stress, pressure, and how the brain works during speaking.
We talked about what happens when your mind goes blank and how panic can make thinking difficult. This can cause people to freeze in conversations.
We also discussed hesitation, brain overload, and processing overload when your brain is trying to do too much at once.
We learned that speaking a second language requires conscious effort, while your native language is more automatic. This difference explains why speaking English can feel hard.
We also explored how being bilingual affects the brain and how overthinking can create a vicious cycle that makes forgetting words even worse.
Finally, we practiced useful phrases to help you stay calm, keep talking, and recover when communication breaks down. Firstly, mind goes blank.
Mind goes blank.
Secondly, panic.
Panic.
Thirdly, freeze.
Freeze.
Fourthly, hesitate.
Hesitate.
Fifth, overload.
Overload.
Sixth, processing overload.
Processing overload.
Seventh, conscious.
Conscious.
Eighth, automatic.
Automatic.
Ninth, vicious cycle.
Vicious cycle.
10th, bilingual.
Bilingual.
Now we'll review 5 phrases together. Firstly, my mind's gone blank. I can't remember the word.
My mind's gone blank. I can't remember the word.
Secondly, when I panic, I freeze and can't speak.
When I panic, I freeze and can't speak.
Thirdly, I hesitate because my brain is in overload.
I hesitate because my brain is in overload.
Fourthly, as a bilingual, I think too much and my brain gets overloaded.
As a bilingual, I think too much and my brain gets overloaded.
Fifth, thinking too consciously can create a vicious cycle.
Thinking too consciously can create a vicious cycle.
In many English-speaking countries, People understand that forgetting words while speaking is normal, especially for language learners. In Australia, the UK, and Canada, it's common to be patient and supportive when someone pauses or searches for a word.
Absolutely. In places like the US or New Zealand, people often say things like, "Take your time," or "No rush," when someone hesitates. Forgetting words is usually seen as a natural part of communication, not a failure.
Talking openly about your mind going blank or feeling nervous shows honesty and confidence. Using simple explanations or describing a word instead of stopping is very acceptable in everyday conversations.
Yes, in many cultures, people appreciate effort more than perfect language. Using phrases like, "I can't remember the word," or "Let me think for a second," helps keep the conversation relaxed and friendly.
Understanding ideas like conscious thinking, brain overload, and processing overload can also help you explain why speaking feels difficult sometimes. This shows awareness, not weakness.
Absolutely. Staying calm, avoiding panic, and continuing to speak, even imperfectly, helps break the vicious cycle and builds trust and connection in conversations.
Thanks for listening. We're really glad you're learning English with us and practicing words and phrases about forgetting words while speaking English.
We hope today's episode helps you feel more confident when your mind goes blank and reminds you that this experience is normal, even for advanced learners.
Share your experiences in the comments. Tell us when you forget words, what makes you panic, or what helps you keep talking instead of freezing. We love hearing your real stories.
Keep practicing, stay calm when you hesitate, and remember, English improves when you continue speaking, not when you wait for perfect words.
See you next time on the Koala English Podcast. Don't panic, break the vicious cycle, keep talking, and happy learning.